Alright, for this drawing of the bearing, we are going to use a scale of 1 to 1. Our hidden lines and our center lines, as well as our center marks. We do have casting rounds and fillets that are radius of 3, and we will be breaking a dimensioning rule. This 13 millimeter from the front edge to this hole in the top of the cylinder, we don't want to take it here in the right side view because we'd be dimensioning to a hidden center line. So either dimensioning on the object or creating a long extension line going through an object line would be our two options to mark the placement of this hole. We have a tolerance. My suggestion in the prior video for creating this part was to use one end of the tolerance, the high end or the low end. That way we can set a limit for the opposing high or low tolerance. If it's a partial circle, we are dimensioning in radius. If it is a circle or a hole, we are dimensioning in diameter. So let's create a drawing of the bearing. So we're going to use our default blank title block. And my view orientation is correct. If yours is not, a lot of times you will use the top view. I want to show the circles here. So I suggested a scale of 1 to 1. My hidden lines are turned on, and I will project off of this parent view. Isometric, shaded, and scaled down. If your hole is not showing up here in the top view, you either need to recreate the hole in the top half, because we don't want to show this as hidden. We can't dimension to a hidden line. So that is something you have to be aware of. Center marks for the holes. And then center lines for the holes. And this one we will have to extend. Oh, I missed one for the small hole. Okay. Linear dimensions, there aren't too many here. In millimeters. So changing the millimeters, 2 decimals should be sufficient. We will not have any trailing zeros. In the metric drawing, there are no trailing zeros. That's better. So we have another dimension to the center. And the other linear dimensions, and this one was pointed out before, either dimensioning on the object or out past the object, but here in the top view, where we see the hole, and we can center this in between the extension lines. Other linear dimensions are the material thickness, and the rest should be either radius or diameter. If it is a complete circle or a hole, it is in diameter. And then we have a radius out here. So this hole. I use the smaller end on the tolerance. What we're going to do is we're going to set a tolerance at a limit. My lower limit is going to be 0. I already used the lower limit. I am now going to set the upper limit, and I am looking for a dimension of 41.28, which gives me an upper tolerance of 0.11. If you made the hole the larger size, you're going to have no upper tolerance, but a lower tolerance of 0.11. Pretty easy change. If you use, let's say, 41.2, you have a lower tolerance of 0.03 and an upper tolerance of 0.11. So that is the tolerance for the center board hole. All I have left for the drawing is a note for rounds and fillets in all capital letters. And they are a radius of 3. View spacing looks good, centering looks good. So add the title block. Right click, add the title block. This is the bearing. ISO, because it was in millimeters, and a scale of 1 to 1, and we'll set the date closer to that time. Overall, looks pretty good. So there's the drawing for the bearing.